Hi.
You
It's
okay?
the most wonderful time
Right. This
of
is
the
like
year.
the closest to oh, I'm on the wrong thing.
We're trying to up our technical abilities here. So bear with us, people.
Yeah, I should have started streaming first before you hit. I should have like yeah. I should
I should
start
have waited,
streaming.
you mean?
Yeah, basically.
Right, it's all my fucking fault. It's
Okay.
okay.
And then
I can just keep singing to the good people. Jingle bells, Christmas sucks. It's really stinking cold. Some of my friends were
yeah.
playing at the White House yesterday, or not yesterday, but maybe yesterday. I don't remember. And I guess there was like some influencer lady there. Um, she's pretty, a looker, you could say. And she took a video walking inside the White House, and it caught both of them peeking a little glance as they were playing at the
Oh,
same time. Yeah, pretty funny.
it's a
I
nice
was like,
one.
you dogs. I don't know the lady's name, but it doesn't matter.
All right, I don't know what's going on, but we are live on YouTube.
We are live on YouTube, I think. So if you don't want to wait, um, if you're just chomping at the bit to listen to these hot and fresh and hot instead of hot and ready, like we put them out on, iTunes or wherever you listen to these things, LimeWire, you can go to our YouTube channel, that I don't know the name of, but I'm sure you can find
It's
it.
TTR Podcast.
TGR Podcast on YouTube. If you're listening to this right now on YouTube, hi, which probably millions of people are listening to this right now.
Sweet. Yeah, we're definitely
Um,
live.
okay. Um, hello. Are you doing Christmas?
Oh shit.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm good. Am I doing
Holy
Christmas?
shit. Yes.
I mean, I'm working on Christmas and I'm
Hmm.
spending it with Allie, my lovely wife.
Okay. That's good.
But as far as doing something special, no. Don't usually
Okay.
do anything special.
You don't cook a nice meal or go anywhere to eat or anything like that?
We might go somewhere.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, in Korea, Christmas is more of a couples thing rather than a family thing.
Cool.
Or if you're not a couple, it's a friends thing.
Yeah. What if you have neither of those?
Then it's yeah,
Where
just
should I go? Where should I go to where, because right, I don't have a other half of a couple, and I have no friends. So one's in Korea and one's in Denver. So, you know,
I thought you had some like where did you spend Thanksgiving? Why can't you do the same thing?
neighbor's place. I don't know what they're doing for Christmas. I always feel like an orphan. Like it's a
Uh,
charity case that I go over. Like people are like, fuck, he's not doing anything. I mean, we should just ask him to. Yeah, we should probably ask him to come over. Poor guy.
but
You know.
he stayed for hours after
He's
everyone left.
He stayed so long, and the whole time he looked like he was really wanting to leave. But yeah, maybe we'll invite him again. Yeah, let's go ahead and invite him again. But he didn't eat any of the food. Well, I know it's kind of weird, isn't it? Maybe he thought it was poisoned. He did drink a lot of bourbon. That was kind of crazy.
I
Um,
didn't think it was possible for one man to drink that much bourbon in one sitting.
I went out with some friends on what is today? Sunday. On Friday night, we went out to this like cocktail Chinese place called Copycat down the street from me. Had some delicious Chinese food and some really good. I've been into Vespers, which is like a it's like a take on a martini. It's the drink that Daniel Craig orders in Casino Royale, I
Casino
believe.
Royale.
Yeah,
Mm.
it wasn't a real drink um until that
Yeah,
show.
because did he instruct them how to make the drink in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I can't remember where. Oh, I was in Seattle. The hotel I stayed in was just like really nice. Like I got one night in like a really nice place. I just treated myself right, and so I went down to the hotel bar that I was staying at, sat at the bar and read a book and ordered I had never had a Vesper, but they had it on the menu. So
I see.
um, yeah, I ordered one there, um, and it was really really good. And so like every every place I've been going to now lately, like a couple weekends ago, I was in Philly, and we always go to the club. This like whatever, I think it's Polizzi. It's like a social club in Philly, and it's like an Italian place. And I was like, man, if I can get it like a really good Vesper anywhere, it's definitely this place. And they didn't disappoint. And then last night at Copycat, I ordered one and it was really good. Yeah, so like I've been and they're all different. That's the cool thing about it. They all taste like a little different in each of these places. And what I like about the drink is it's really boozy and it has gin and vodka in it. Like a little bit of vodka to like cut the gin. Like it's a gin martini, right? I think a little more gin forward. A little more gin forward. And I'll tell you, they put a little vodka in there. Really, that's the only way to go.
Any
But
olives?
no olives, a lemon twist. You serve it with a twist,
Okay.
and it's really good. So if you're at a cocktail bar out there listening, this show's all about recommendations. I got a few, but yeah, go to a cocktail bar, a nice one that you like frequent that you know makes good drinks, and get a Vesper. It's for some reason I feel like martinis and the holidays go hand in hand, like New Year's especially.
Booze
You're
in the
going to like
holidays,
yeah,
definitely.
booze. Yeah, definitely
Eggnog.
booze. The nog.
Yeah, we've been doing our eggnog special for a few years now, 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 3 years, at least 3 years, and we have regular people like
Yeah.
waiting to order every year, and we have two versions. We have one that's loaded up with rum and one with no rum, but it's man, with spiced rum in the eggnog, it's like a totally different drink.
You should put bourbon, brandy, and rum in it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think you could just put as many as you want.
That's what the that's what they that's what the Washingtons. That's the Washington's recipe. Put
Bourbon,
bourbon.
brandy, rum, eggnog.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Jeez. And there's
It's
just
nuclear, man. It's freaking delicious though.
yeah. I mean, the rum takes on a whole new flavor, or the eggnog takes on a whole new flavor with just spiced rum, and it's way
Hmm.
better than even with that non-alcoholic. It's
I agree. I think it's better with. I mean, obviously, I agree that it's better with the booze in it. Obviously. Um,
it's so
but
good and
speaking
dangerous.
speaking of Christmas, I did a Christmas show, and of course they did. It was like a holiday sing along, right? And um, they did. Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house. That whole thing, the Christmas
Yeah,
night before Christmas or something.
A
Is it a
Christmas
Christmas story? I
story
don't
or
fucking know. Yeah.
or a night before Christmas.
Anyways,
That's a night before Christmas. You're right, right.
it's nightmare before. It's not nightmare before. This my version might be the nightmare before Christmas, but this is the night before Christmas, right? And I've done this show a few times, so it's like I kind of just zone out or whatever. But I thought it would. So my brain started to wander, right? And I I created my own night before Christmas, and it goes something like this. So we all know how the story goes, right? Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a. And it's like Santa's coming down the chimney, right? And he's
Uh-huh.
like with his sack full of toys and all that bullshit. So in my version, Santa comes down the chimney in this like suburban. suburban house. They got the they
Perfect
got the
nuclear
they
household.
got exactly 3 kids and 2.5 kids and a dog, right? And so Santa comes down the chimney, and instead of finding a quaint, cozy a scene of Christmas and holiday cheer, right? He finds a crime scene, a murder scene, even. He sees a mother and father have been brutally slain, and the bodies of 2 children also have perished, have been unlived, and he's concerned. Obviously, he's shocked. He's never seen this happen before,
No.
and so he he walks around. And he's trying to gather clues as to what might have happened.
Santa
Whether he should,
CSI.
yeah, whether he should call the cops or anything like that. So he's looking around for maybe see if the suspect is still there. Maybe a murder weapon is left. And what he does notice is that although there are two unfortunately, 2 bodies of children laying, he notices in the family photos that there are in fact 3 children in the family. Interesting. One
Okay.
boy, one girl, and another boy. So the body of the youngest boy is missing. So then he starts to think, okay, maybe the other youngest boy was taken away, but no. He, in fact, has the sixth sense of he's been set up to make it
Yeah.
look like Santa
I
Claus
thought that's
has
what it's
committed
coming
these murders.
for.
And as soon as he realizes that he's been set up, the cops come.
Woo! Yeah.
Yep, the festive lights of the old popo, the old 911, okay? And so, pause.
Recording stopped.
I'll be right back. I have to turn my chicken.
No worries. That's a pretty good premise so far. He's leaving us with a cliffhanger. Santa comes down the chimney upon a crime scene. Turns out he's framed for the murder of an entire family. And he's back.
They're not hearing you. I paused it.
I'm streaming live on YouTube though.
Oh, nice.
Recording in progress.
Okay. And so I haven't hashed out all the details, but basically what happens is then we enter a John Wick style Christmas movie where Santa Claus and this young boy who's trying to get away with the perfect crime.
Oh,
Basically
the boy framed Santa.
the boy killed his family.
Because he was on the naughty list.
Mm-hmm. He was definitely on the
Uh-huh.
naughty list. And he certainly is now. And then Santa's trying to clear his good name. So basically we're in a situation where Santa is trying to not only clear his good name and fend for his life and negotiate with the police here. And so I don't know, I haven't hashed out all the details whether we're talking gunfight, knife
Oh
fight,
yeah.
but it,
The
it
sleigh
definitely
has
ends.
like a hidden compartment that's just filled with unlimited weapons. It's like
Yeah, oh
it's like a
yeah.
scene from The Matrix.
He slides it open and it's just full of weapons.
Yeah.
But it definitely ends with like Santa Claus probably like choking out the young boy, and then he's just like he's like ho 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 mother, like in Die Hard or
Uh-huh.
whatever. I can't remember what he says, but he says something something like that. Merry Christmas, motherfucker, or something like that. And I we all know how it ends. It ends with Santa Claus, saving the day and
Clearing his name
of course. Oh, absolutely.
after
So
just going on a complete destructive, violent uh what's it, tirade? Is that the word in this situation?
yeah,
Clearing his name,
trying to clear his
blowing
name.
up half the city in order to clear his name.
See, in my vision of it, he's just in the house the whole time.
Oh, okay.
It's him and the young boy, and it's like a Home Alone kind of meets John Wick kind of
Uh-huh.
situation. You know what I mean? So the young boy has like booby trapped the whole house to try and kill Santa Claus, but Santa Claus, of course, is like ex Special Forces or something like that. In a long line of
It's
like
Jason
Santa
Statham.
Clauses. Exactly. I mean, how else can you pull off sneaking into millions and millions of homes if you are not former Secret Service,
Yeah.
right? And
The
so rare on a and there's just not one Santa. This is where we now I'm this is we're flowing here, okay?
Okay, let's go.
There's not just one Santa Claus. There are thousands and thousands of Santa Clauses, okay?
I
It's a
see.
it's this is like a covert secret op holiday, Santa Claus. He's like SEAL team, Santa team 6 or whatever. So he's calling in intel from other Santas, right? To try and get some intel on this young man. Maybe they find out this isn't his first crime. He practiced on other families on other holidays until he was able to then, commit this atrocity to his own family. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe he calls in backup. He's calling the CIA. He's calling former presidents to try and, see if they can
Oh, who
get
are
Santa
inside?
off the naughty list here.
Yeah, they know. They're privy to that classified information of. It's not just one Santa. It's a
Mhm.
whole network of Santas across.
Right.
It's an internet. It's an
It's
international
yes,
Santa spy network. So you're
correct.
bringing in Jet Li from
Definitely.
Jet Li Santa. It's basically the Expendables cast. It's the Expendables
But all
cast, but they're all dressed as
Santas.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. Could you imagine Jet Li in a Santa costume? What would he even say? I don't say it,
I'm
but
not gonna try.
all right, speaking of leaning in or avoiding oh wait. No, being aware of stereotypes and leaning in or avoiding the meta. Let's go ahead and transition to that one.
Okay. Yeah, I had for the first time realizing that I did this subconsciously. But one of the stereotypes of someone from Texas is when someone asks you, "Hey, where are you from?" You say, "I'm from Texas." Not
Yeah.
like a non-American asks you where you're from. You don't say, "Oh, I'm from the US." Most Texans, the stereotype is that most Texans will say, "Oh, I'm from Texas, not from the US."
Okay.
That's a stereotype, whether you
Okay.
know it or not. And
I
I
see. Okay.
I, I was aware of this stereotype, and it's happened several times to me where when a lot of customers come in, they're curious where I'm from. A lot of people think I'm from Turkey. Actually, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, I do too.
You still think I'm from Turkey?
Hmm.
But then I say, no, I'm from USA. And they're like, oh, where in the USA? And I say, Texas. And they say, oh, that's weird because Texas people usually say they're from Texas, not the USA.
Hmm.
And I realized subconsciously, maybe not even subconsciously, because I'm aware of the stereotype that people from Texas say they're from Texas, I would either choose to say I'm from the US in order to counter this
Hmm.
stereotype. But then they were kind of disappointed by the fact that I said I'm from USA first and not Texas, 'cause that's not the stereotype. So now do I
Hmm.
lean into the stereotype and just say I'm from Texas because
Yeah.
that's what they expect and what they hear.
I don't know. I always say I'm from DC when people ask.
Well, yeah, you're a Texas Texpat. You're a Texpat.
Texpat.
Yeah.
Nice. Texpat.
A Tex patriot.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you lean into it. I think
Give the
yeah,
people what they want, right?
give the people what they want. Now you're a more exotic flower now.
Yeah.
Yeah, US is boring.
As
In the
far as
US.
as far as stereotypes go, I mean, this is not really a bad stereotype in any way. But I imagine in other types of people that have certain stereotypes associated with them,
Hmm. Go
this
ahead and name your top 5 favorite stereotypes and act them out if you don't. Give us examples, please.
what one would
Well,
one
right off the top of my head.
one would involve just driving into other vehicles.
Yep. You're talking about Maryland drivers, of course.
Okay. But yeah, it's like I guess I guess I guess if I were a member of a community that have a lot of different stereotypes, that that kind of meta thinking would come to my head more often. Like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, I'm gonna be hanging out with these people.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be used to hanging out with someone like me.
Mhm.
Do
A cool guy. A cool guy that knows lots of random facts about action movies from the 80s. Okay, they're not gonna be used to hanging out with someone who looks like he's from a distant land, but he's actually from Texas. So that's gonna throw them off. And then when they realize I'm from Texas, then they're like, wow, this guy's he's an exotic looking like cowboy rancher, probably knows how to shoot all of the guns, you know, roping and riding, that kind of thing, but he's dressed really urban. He owns his own business in another country. He's conquered the women over here. He's married to one of the women over here, so he's like a Casanova, but he's still in touch with his Texas roots because he's immediately said he's from Texas. So it's like, but he's here. He's lived here, however long. He's assimilated. He speaks the language pretty good. Definitely know understand. He's teaching our youth the language of his motherland.
He
You
must
know,
have been born with guns. Is he from Texas?
does he have them here? Does he have them on his person right now? I can't tell. But of course, you wouldn't be able to tell.
All those calculating which stereotype I
Mhm.
should go with. That
And
was
they're just staring at you like this.
that's one you mentioned though is people assume that I'm really good with guns.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of these
I
like
didn't when I first met you, though.
you didn't assume.
I knew right away you weren't.
There's like these arcades games with like airsoft guns and they're like shooting ranges. And I went with some friends like, "Oh, you're from Texas." And I was horrible. Just terrible.
I would make a really dark joke right now, but I don't think YouTube is right. I think we would get completely banned off of YouTube immediately.
Is it something about shootings in a certain yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
just shootings. I can say shooting.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with it.
Speaking of guns, you and I've been playing Helldivers too. Pretty good. It's pretty good. I was making the mistake because I don't know how to play video games that well. So I was just like being a boomer and kind of just playing by myself
It's
or just being
impossible by
me.
yourself. It's so hard
I
and
won
not fun.
I won a few, but yeah, it was because I went to one. I found that the place with like the mechs,
Oh,
the like
I haven't even gone there yet.
the like machine zombie
They're
like
like
Terminator
they're like
guys.
Battlestar. They're like Cylons from Battlestar Galactica or something.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, Cylons, nice. Um, and yeah, so I got my ass handed to me quite a
Yeah,
few
I
times in
haven't
that
even gone
place.
there, dude.
Yeah, and then you told me, oh yeah, just do quick games or whatever. And so then I was like, last night I was playing for like, I don't know, an hour or two or something like that. And then I finally like, cause like you play with a few people and then they'll drop you or they'll drop off or something like that.
Yeah,
But I was able to play like several matches with like the
yeah.
same,
You start to go in a group together.
yeah. And it was all, way more fun. It's like Elden Ring, and me and Mason play Elden Ring a lot.
Yeah,
It's like I can play that game over and over and over again when it's co-op because it's just so much fun, especially when you know where to go and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty fun.
so good. It's one of the old style games where it doesn't have a bunch of like videos and stuff you have to get in like educate like what's going on. It's like you are an expendable soldier dropping into a war zone and
Yeah,
you have to one not die and then two you have to go to these objectives and there it's just like right at the beginning you're just thrown into it. There's not much mystery about what you have to do, but
yeah,
there's so many moments where it's like a cinematic like you're overwhelmed with forces, you're out of ammo, and then someone comes, your teammate drops in at the last second and then throws in like an orbital strike or something. So
Tropican
good.
Eagle. So awesome. Yeah.
You and I are both super late to the game. Actually, it was
Yeah.
arguably it was game of the year. Many people think it should have been game of the year. It just didn't have a long.
What year did it come out?
I think it came out at the beginning of this year,
Oh.
or at the end of 2023. I might be.
So it
Yeah.
lost to like Baldur's Gate, right?
Oh yeah, and Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate would have been last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was either 2023. People think it should have been 2023 Game of the Year or 2024 Game of the Year, but I think it lost momentum as other games started coming out. But
To be fair,
really good.
2023 was like a really good year for video games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this game didn't win Game of the Year. That's pretty. I mean, it's a good year, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's fun. I'm not the best at I'm not good at any video game, to be honest, because I don't play them a whole lot. But and especially not good at shooters. But this one is like doesn't it for me it doesn't matter because one, I'm not competitive, so
yeah, it's co-op.
like I don't really. Yeah, and I'm not. We're not competing against other people, which I also love.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's co-op PvE, so but it feels like PvP in a way because you know you're doing these missions and it's like the AI is like pretty pretty good and like the difficulty level is just right.
The difficulty level keeps going up as you keep playing.
Yeah.
It gets insane, dude.
What difficulty level are you at right now?
I just got to suicide mission difficulty.
I'm on
And
I'm
that's
on
not even the
medium.
highest. That's not even the
Oh
highest.
no. There's like 11, 13 difficulty levels.
Yeah,
Like they keep going up.
I think I'm on level difficulty 7 or something.
My
And
God.
it's crazy.
Do you keep getting better weapons? Do you unlock better weapons or like what?
Yeah, so like the other cool thing is all the rewards are shared with your team.
Right.
So there's some people like searching for valuable stuff and then
Yeah.
you guys all share it as long as you survive
Right.
with holding that stuff. And then at the end you can there's like some unlocks that they keep putting out new content for. And you could actually, one thing I don't like about is you can actually spend real money to get those unlocks faster, but you don't have to.
Pay to play. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, it makes sense. It gives them like that's all games are going that way where it's like they need to make money beyond just the cost of the starting cost of the game. Like it needs to be like a recurring income that's in order for them to incentivize making new content and stuff. So anyway, but yeah, there's so many weapons.
Yeah, it's a good game. I would
Great
if
game.
people are greatest game ever made. What do we want to I watched one of the recommendations I have, I guess that Helldivers was the first one, but I watched this movie called Immaculate last night. And it has Sydney Sweeney in it. I think that's her name.
Yeah.
She's been in some stuff.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. I can't tell you any other movie she's been in, but she's been in other movies. And she's a nun from Michigan that goes to, I want to say Italy. Yeah, she goes to Italy to live in this like parish, or I guess you call it a nunnery, taking care of like basically senile nuns, like older nuns that have like retired and they're like can't take care of themselves. So she's like taking, anyway, she's a nun taking care of other nuns, elderly nuns. And spoilers here.
She goes
I'm
on
gonna
a
go
killing
ahead.
spree.
We're in a John Wick style nun movie. No, but she finds herself in like she can tell she tells like there's an eerie vibe, something's not something's not quite right, dark forces are at play here.
She's the
So
chosen
she
one.
Yeah, so she immediately this vibey nun is like, and the grounds were built on the memorial Saint the ruins of Saint Thomas. It's like, or the catacombs on the catacombs were built on the remains of Saint Thomas. And then she's like, catacombs? Those are off limits. And it's like immediately we know.
Mia, she's gonna go down there.
Yeah, within the first 10 minutes she goes
She's
down there,
banging
right?
on the door.
Yeah, yeah, super not incognito, but she hears noises, right? And this is a horror movie, a horror suspense, whatever. So,
Yeah, I'm getting
and that's my
chills.
jam. Yeah. So she goes down to the catacombs, of course, and she finds this nun face down, praying, right? Like, kind of sobbing, praying, face down on the ground, and she's like, "Sister, are you okay?" And then this nun like turns and she has this red like tight like
Hood.
balaclava on,
Okay.
hood. She has the nun hood, but like under that is like a face mat, like a
Yeah.
cloth, just red. It's fucking creepy, and she's like praying or whatever, right? And then she sees what she's praying to. It's this like little shrine, and inside the shrine is a single nail, iron nail, and
Oh,
apparently it's from the
obviously. Yeah.
crucifixion. Yeah. And so the the father, the priest that comes down and there and finds her down there, shows her the nail, puts it in. Oh, no, it's the Mother Superior, the head nun, and I didn't know that's what they were called, but that's a pretty badass title,
It's
Mother
pretty sweet.
Superior. She's wearing gloves and she
She's like a Green
hands
Beret of
this
the nunnery.
exactly. She's a part of a secret service of no. Um, we're in a John Wick style nun
It's
movie. Um, and so she hands. Hold on. Pause again.
Recording stopped.
Sorry, YouTube.
it's always he always leaves at the biggest cliffhanger. He's like sets up some amazing plot point, and then he's got to rub his chicken off screen. And that's not a euphemism. He's actually rubbing his chicken.
What were you telling these people?
Recording in
I
progress.
was just saying how you were off screen rubbing your chicken.
I am rubbing my chicken, turning my chicken. So the Mother Superior hands the iron nail to this new nun, right? And she faints. And she wakes up in her room. And then weird stuff starts to happen. She gets morning sickness.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I see where this is going.
and she's feeling a little fatigued. And they find out,
Immaculate. What's it called? Immaculate conception?
bingo. Bingo.
Okay.
And so everybody thinks, oh, she's giving birth to the Savior, right? She's the next Mary. And some other strange things start to happen. The nun that vibed her out at the beginning kills her. She kills herself. She jumps off
She
the top of.
none-alives herself.
She nun-alives herself exactly from the nice one from
What's
the
it called?
top of the nunnery, right? And then she like other weird stuff starts happening. She's getting more and more sick and stuff like that. And then I can't remember what exactly. Oh, they try to keep her there. Or she tries to escape, and they're trying to keep her there. So she's like, something's going on here, and I don't like the smell of it. She starts to realize that she thinks that some fuckery is going on, and happens upon another like little laboratory, and
Oh, cooking up
they're
some.
conduct they're conducting experiments, human experiments, and I basically what happens is she finds out they've like artificially inseminated this nun with the DNA on this nail. I guess the nail was truly from the crucifixion, or anyways. So they're trying. It's like Jurassic Park, where they take the preserved DNA of Christ and they're like injecting it into or inseminating into these nuns, and our our lead lady Sydney Swanson or whatever the fuck her name is. I can't remember. um, it's the only one that took. So in the
So
movie
she
she's
becomes persona non grata.
ooh
I
nice.
was trying to figure out how to work that one in.
Nice.
That was a good
That's a
one.
good one.
That was a
That was
good
a really good one.
one.
So she anyway, she escapes eventually. Of course, right when her water breaks, she breaks out.
So she's
And
just
it's gonna
hobbling around through the
get a
city.
little get a little graphic. No, the nunnery is like very isolated. It's in the country.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's hobbling through the countryside, and she escapes. You know, she may or not burned a priest alive. And she's going through the woods and eventually gives birth to the baby, and then she smashes it with a rock. Oh yeah, told you spoilers. And it's pretty goddamn horrific at the end, I will say. And I think goddamn is appropriate for this. Yeah, but she
I did
yeah.
not see that coming.
Oh yeah, in the woods, she takes a very large rock and unalives the baby. Yeah, doesn't show that part, but
Talk about a
the
late
movie
term.
uh
All
the
right.
movie ends with her going like that, and then it cuts to credits. Yeah, pretty awesome movie. If you like horror movies, you like scary movies, this one immaculate. This one was a very good
Did the
one.
baby say something to her? That's why, like,
No, but you can hear when she gives birth to it, you can hear like the rattling breaths of this like just
okay,
abomination that she gives birth.
something not
It's
natural.
yeah, it's definitely like a like some kind of like and when she breaks into the laboratory, there's just jars and jars of these just like gross looking
Okay.
mutant babies. I don't know. Um obviously they weren't very successful with the experiments, but anyways, immaculate, super good, a real good feel good holiday movie if you're you know, and it's appropriate because you know Christmas is all about celebrating the birth of Christ, and this kind of
Uh,
fits into that, you know.
was there a lot that you left out though, or was that pretty much? I
Um,
feel like I saw the movie.
that's pretty much it. But there's like the good cool thing about the movie is like the cinematography is like really not really great, and the action scenes are really like you know this sounds weird, but like it's a really beautiful film, and Sydney Sweeney is very good in it. What
Remember
did
her
I say?
name this
Sydney.
time?
Yeah.
Sydney Swanson, or
Yeah.
you
Samsonite.
you mixed up like. Anyway.
It's very good. It's a really good. It's a good movie. I don't think that it ruins the movie by. I don't really care for spoilers, anyways. But
Yeah.
um,
I mean, it's all fake anyway. It's a bunch of
right.
every time.
Um, every time. Um,
Okay. What's next? What are you
okay.
working with here?
So showing up for people. Okay. So do you ever do a favor for people out of the goodness of your own heart, and then they say, no, don't worry about it, and then you're like, whew, sweet, got out of that one,
They called my
you know?
like almost called my bluff kind of thing.
Yeah. But then you still look like a hero volunteering,
It's
you know,
perfect.
for
Perfect
it's the
situation.
it's yeah, it's beautiful. You look like the good guy and then you still got out of it, you know?
There must have been a situation like that for sure.
Yeah.
Probably involving like taking someone to the airport.
Hmm.
I think there's got to been some moments like that. What happened with
Yeah.
you?
Nothing has happened like that, and if any friends are listening to this, it's like I think this is a normal thought, right? Like I dog sat over Thanksgiving, right? I've done gigs for people that have asked on favors. I'm actually like I don't have any Christmas gigs this year, believe it or not. Like I played with the Philly Pops last weekend. Like that was my only
Yeah.
holiday gig.
I wanted to talk about that.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a sec.
Okay.
But um I so like I don't know, I've been trying to be better about showing up for people. You know what I mean? When people ask for favors, like not thinking it's gonna lead to anything. You know what I mean? Like whatever, but just doing it
Because you
because I'm
can.
available because I can. So, like I said, I don't have any Christmas gigs. So Christmas and Christmas Eve, I'm free. So, my friend of mine that I work with, him and his wife, I guess, are both musicians, and they are working on Christmas Eve, the evening of Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
and
Standard.
standard. And they must really be in a pinch because they asked me to babysit their toddler for them. So, um, I was
This
like,
isn't the couple that you dog sit.
no, nope,
Okay.
they don't have
They're
they don't
like,
have
well,
babies.
he does really well with her blind dog, like elderly
No,
dog.
yeah, yeah.
Let's upgrade his membership to.
Let's throw a baby at them. No, they don't have any pets or anything like that. But, um, yeah. So on Christmas Eve, I'm basically it's in the evening. It's like they said like 6 to 10 or something like that. So I
Oh,
think
that's
he'll
not
be
bad.
sleeping. Yeah, he'll be sleeping most of the time. I hope. I don't want to find myself in a John Wick style holiday mood. But no, I think he'll be asleep. So, um, but like I said, they must be really like in a bind. So I guess I should say yes, but um, no, it's like showing up for people. But as soon as you like say yes to that, you're like, what have I done?
Yeah,
And I think
it happens to me all the time.
the Philly Pops thing was another example of that. Like I said yes a really long time ago, and then when it came time to do it, I was like, oh man,
Why?
it's a lot of driving, it's a lot of playing. I'm not like a principal player. They want me to play principal. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna sound like shit, and blah, blah, blah. And it ended up being a good gig, and it was fun. And I'm like, I got to spend the weekend in Philly with my friends, and it was fun. But yeah, that was like because I don't play with orchestras hardly ever, you know, and I especially don't play principal with orchestras like ever, right? Not since grad school. That's like 10 years ago now. And so it was really like I definitely put myself out of my comfort zone with that. And yeah, it's nice to be in the hot seat, but it feels good not to be in the hot seat after that, you know. I don't even know if I've gotten paid for that gig yet, but anyways,
They're good for
I
it.
got to play in where the Philly Orchestra plays. So that was fun too. That's like a pretty beautiful
Yeah.
hall to play in. Um, yeah, it was a fun gig, and I'm glad I did it. Um,
Seems like
so I
something that would lead to other gigs,
it
right?
won't it
Oh,
won't, it, and I never look at it that way.
okay.
I never because it usually does not. Oh, I'm stretching here. Yeah.
Big stretch.
Big stretchies. It usually never does. You know what I mean? Like, lo and behold, I've lived in this city for 10 years now, and all the gigs I've done have never led to other gigs. You know,
They just sort of spring up.
yeah, like, given the fact that I don't have a Christmas gig, which is kind of crazy
Yeah.
because there's a lot of, I got asked to do nothing. So, which I'm not really bummed about it. I don't need the money. So I'm very thankful for that. And fortunate for that. But like it that's just an
Well,
example of
I
like,
mean, if you needed it, you could have like gone searching and asking, hey, asking people,
yeah,
hey, you know anyone that's looking for a trumpet? Like
yeah,
that's what I had to do in
for sure.
school. But
Yeah.
you didn't have to look.
Right. And usually they just fall in my lap. And like you said, if I really needed one
Yeah.
or something like that, I would ask for one, but I don't really need it. And what I found out is like a lot of my colleagues, they also they say no to Christmas gigs. So
Yeah.
because they want to spend time with their families or
I
something
mean,
like
there's
that,
other
which,
musicians that need them,
oh yeah.
probably.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, anyways, so I guess I do have a Christmas Eve gig, but it's definitely a different kind of Christmas Eve gig. But I don't know. I mean, he's a sweet boy, and they're uh, a good colleague. I wouldn't say we're like super close friends, but they are definitely friends. And so, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think showing up for people I've been trying to do more. I always feel like I'm pretty good about that. Um, you know, especially if it's people I like, you know, showing up for people. It can't hurt, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it happens to me all the time. I meant like my problem is if I do not have an excuse to say no, I say yes because
Yeah.
I feel like for some reason in my head it's lying to say no,
Yeah.
or not wanting to do something is rude.
Yeah.
That's why on my New Year's resolutions it's always say no to
Yeah.
stuff. Don't say yes to everything. I mean, I would say that kind of getting to like things that happen in my life usually have come from me always saying yes to stuff. But it
Yeah.
like Allie, it drives her crazy when I say yes to stuff. And she's like,
Yeah.
why do you say yes? And Allie I'm jealous of, she has a whole different philosophy about it because she does help other people. But her
Hmm.
philosophy is no matter what, first, always say no.
Hmm.
And then think about it. And then if you can do it, go back and tell them that you can do it. So
Hmm.
then first, they know that you're not someone that they will always go to first to ask for favors. And
Yeah.
then two, it it means more to them at that point because they know that you weren't able to do it at first, but you made time or you made an effort to be able to help them. So it's
Hmm.
more meaningful from their perspective. And
Yeah.
it's like that's pretty good philosophy. But I just like I got myself into some trouble recently because like I had some friends at the jiu-jitsu gym that wanted to practice English. And it's like I
Hmm.
want to go to the gym to do jiu-jitsu. I don't
Yeah.
want to go to gym to
To
work.
work. Hmm.
And then I said yes because technically I'm free. And yeah, why did you say yes?
So you ended up helping him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've been helping them prepare for some English tests. It's like a group of young, of like they're high schoolers, yeah, and they can't speak English and they have to do some speaking thing, and so
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
just say no. That's
Good.
my philosophy. Hopefully, I can
Say,
stick to it.
be a Grinch this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let everybody know how it goes. Hopefully the child doesn't perish in my care. I think that'll be fine. Um
Wait, do you
yeah.
actually have to do it though?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
oh, I thought it was. I thought this topic came up because you got out of it.
No, but I always no, the topic came up. I wrote the thing because I was like, isn't it interesting how you always say I do anyways, say yes to things and then I always immediately hope that it gets canceled. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, I got it. I
Yeah,
got it.
yeah. Not that I don't want to do it. I'm happy to do it, but it's always just like the lazy, I don't know, part of my brain that's just like, okay, I
I
hope
mean,
this gets
that
canceled.
happens with plans with friends sometimes.
Yeah. Hmm.
Where you're like,
Well, that
hey, let's go out to.
so this is another thing. Like I'm trying to say yes to stuff in hopes that I'll get like invited, like you know what I mean, like the and then
Okay.
it doesn't. And I'm telling you, like don't do it for that reason because you're going to be disappointed. Do it because you're available and you want to help out, or it's just like you just yeah. That's really the only reason is like you just want to help somebody
Yeah.
because
Yeah, you
usually
shouldn't
it's
do it
not. Yeah.
to get something out of it. And yeah, same with me. Like I don't do it, but it's a hard
Hmm.
time. It's hard for me to say no if the reason I'm saying no is just because I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
In my head that's not a good enough reason to say no because this person needs me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wonder if it's a cultural thing to feel that way.
Yeah. Maybe or just a human thing. I don't know. I'm not a I'm not a culturist or a humanist or a you know philosopher, psychologist or anything like that, but from my expert point of view, I feel like it's probably just an ego thing. You know, my time isn't really worth this, and I'm I'm gonna be missing out on something if I say yes to this. Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm. Anyways, you know how back in the day, like the castrati, like it was like famous. The men would get their
Snip, snipped.
they would get snipped. Yeah, they would get their
It's the international sign. If you just hold your
mhm,
scissor fingers sideways and a little bit up, and you just go across like
mhm.
this, international sign. Everyone knows what you're
For getting
snip.
your testes clipped off.
It
Yeah,
immediately,
nowhere near the balls. But yeah,
guys
ooh,
immediately
it
go,
got.
ooh,
Yeah, I took the
yikes.
dog to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was joking with some friends at work that uh, like from a trumpet player. We were talking with trumpet players here. If like what would the trumpet player version of that would be like a bugler if he like if they surgically removed their fingers and in place put the like a bugle there, like
Like a
surgically implanted
cyborg.
yeah, like I don't know, for some reason I thought like a castrati that was funny, but it's not funny anymore to me. And so we're gonna move on. Um
Because there's nothing more. There's nothing else after that. It's just that's it.
that's it.
That's
That's a
pretty
funny
good.
thought I had. Um the other day I was walking just through my apartment and I just burped really loudly like Homer Simpson and thought to myself, that's disgusting and I need to not do that ever again because
You don't want to make it a habit.
yep, I'll be in public and I'll just belch like Homer, especially because I wear headphones everywhere I go listening to music, you know? Like today I went to the Christmas market and so I was like out all afternoon like in shopping and doing like the holiday market and just walking around in public and I was just like, yeah, I could easily just riding the metro just like belch like a freaking, slob. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned headphones, and w this is something we've observed in the shop: is customers who are eating alone who have headphones in, they're not really aware.
Yeah.
It turns off. It turns off something in their head that they're alone, or
Hmm.
they're not in a public place anymore, and they're not aware of how loud their bodily
Yeah.
functions are. And there's some people that will, like Ali and I are working, and then there'll be a customer eating, and they'll just go like blah, like they just let out a huge burp, and we look at each other. And it's like they don't even realize they're just still eating. They don't realize that they just you know inappropriately just belched in a public dining area. And I think it's because of headphones effect. Everyone's wearing these like noise
Noise
canceling
canceling.
headphones, and they're just blocking out the world, living in their own bubbles, and then yeah, they're just letting them rip.
I tried to last weekend I went and I so today I went to a holiday market downtown. Um it's like in between Chinatown area and the National Mall. There's like always a big holiday market there. And I think it was last weekend or the weekend before, I went to one in DuPont Circle, which is a little west of here. It's a nice part of town. Um, and they always have a farmers market there in the nice season, but in the winter they transition it to like a holiday market like all November and December. And so I was over there and like I had headphones in the whole time. Like I, rode the metro out and I did a number of things. Like I went to a bookstore and then I went to a coffee shop and did the holiday market. But like all afternoon, I noticed I was like I had headphones in like the whole day and was just like really self-isolating out there. And I was like,
You do
is that a
both.
good
You do earbuds, right? Or
Yeah, I do the AirPods, yeah.
do you have both in?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah. And so I was like, man, I'm like really self-isolating here. It's like there's no chance of like interacting with people if you know what I mean. So it's like if people see those in your ears and like no one's gonna, and I'm not like thinking that that's gonna happen or anything like that, but I was just like, I wonder if like what that experience would have been like just taking them out, or not wearing them.
Mm.
And so I didn't do that today. I should have, but I didn't do that today. And I don't know, maybe next time I should try and be better about like, I don't know, being, because I feel like it takes away sort of that like presence, you know what I mean? And it depends on the mood I'm in. Like a couple weeks ago, I was very like not in the mood to be in public, but it's good for me, I think, to get out and do stuff, in public. Um, but yeah, I wonder what, I don't know, what it would be like. If anybody in the chat has any opinions on that, leave it in a comment down below. Um, but yeah, I wonder like what, I don't know, if it's good or bad, what the implications are socially. You know what I mean?
In the long term, or
Yeah, I want
yeah.
like all to always be on like, yeah, like I wonder if it's the same like as with iPad kids. You know what I mean?
Well, I remember people in school in university. There was even there. I knew people who would have, and this was whenever everyone had the wired headphones. Is they would have them in, no matter what,
Oh yeah.
not even listening to stuff,
Hmm.
because they realize people don't talk to them when they have it in, and they can
Yeah.
just like, just dead man to the next class or something.
Yeah.
I feel, I mean, I ride my bike for one, so it's really dangerous. I see people riding with noise canceling headphones in a
Yeah.
city in a city, and it just drives me crazy because they're so oblivious to stuff. If you're walking, I can kind of understand having both in, but I've like what's the word? I've gotten accustomed to only using one because I feel way too disconnected if I have both in.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe try just one in, because if you want to, it has like the option of like you're not fully
Yeah.
disconnected, but you can still listen to stuff.
I could still scream at people. Yeah. Anyways, I'll try it. I'll try it next time, and I'll report back.
Yeah.
My last recommendation, the last thing is I've been listening to two things actually. I finished the hike. Maybe next time we can talk about
I'm
it
almost
if you
done with
finished
it.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to talk about it.
Well, yeah, I finished that book. Awesome book. And I'm currently reading a book by I think it's David Brom. It's called Slewfoot. One word, Slewfoot. It's about like witchcraft and like colonial America and stuff like
Oh,
that.
cool.
It's really good. I think I'm about a little more than halfway done with it, but it's super good. So I would recommend it and the hike.
The hike.
Um, yeah, and then also Jonah Yano and the Heavy Loop have a newish album out. I think it came out this year. It's really good. Jonah Yano. Um, I think they're like either Asian. I think they're Asian, Japanese American, or something like that. Anyways, female artist, super good. It's like indie jazz,
Oh,
instrumental,
I'd like them.
pop. It's super good. Really like it's funny because like what I love about music is like stuff, because I've been in a rut lately about like just wanting new music to listen to, and it's just interesting how I always feel like music finds you when you need it. You know what I mean? And just like this artist and this album, there's a few other ones, but specifically this one, it's just like, dang, exactly what I wanted to hear. And so I don't know, different than the other like hardcore shit I was recommending, but this is definitely like rainy day vibes, chill vibes, making dinner vibe,
Yeah, that's what
that
I
kind of
like
stuff.
these days.
Yeah, it's really really good. So check that out. Really good album. And that's all I got.
Sounds gluten.